Welcome to M&M Sports Podcast number 55. Tonight, we're going to start with a little Royals talk, Brian. Just an interesting year in general. They finished with a record of 82-80.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and talk about things that we've talked about throughout the year. They really hurt themselves in certain areas, and this pretty much continued, through the whole season.
It didn't change, did it?
That's the base running,
Yeah.
the lack of hitting with runners in scoring position. But then we can come back around and say, man, with the starting staff decimated as much as it was, to finish with 82 wins is somewhat impressive.
It really,
right.
I mean,
it really is.
Yeah.
A person might say you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. I would say not really. I'm just laying it out. I'm laying it out. To where, yes, in one aspect, they really hurt themselves with things they could have done better. But on the other hand, they really overachieved with the injuries they were facing on the pitching side of things.
Yeah, you look at this season, and you look at our starting pitching and say, okay, if none of those guys went down with the injuries this year, where would we be? Conservatively, I'm going to give us 5 wins.
Right.
If we fix just some of the base running blunders conservatively, I say that's another 2 to 3 wins. So you're looking at 7 or 8 wins there.
Right.
Where does that put us?
I just was looking at this. 87 wins is what the Houston Astros had, and the Detroit Tigers had the same. Detroit advances with an 87-75 record into the wild card. Cleveland obviously stole the division from them. But yes, it took 87 to get in last year, and 86 got the Royals in as the third wild card. So last season, based on the injuries that the staff had, if the Royals could have won 87, that would have been very impressive.
Yeah.
If it ended up playing up enough, the American League in general, that when it was all said and done, I didn't feel as bad as I would have if we were on the National League side, where 83 wins got the Cincinnati Reds in. I would have felt worse had we, just been that close.
Sure.
But to think that we could get to that 87 win mark with the injuries they were facing,
just wasn't going to happen.
And the self-imposed mistakes they made would not be realistic, in my opinion.
But the 82 wins, for me, is a huge plus for that organization.
I agree.
Back-to-back years of finishing on the plus side of 500, which, guys, this is Kansas City Royals baseball.
Right.
We're not used to that. We don't get years and years of winning baseball. We went through a long stretch where we didn't hit 500.
Sure.
So to see this team finish above that mark is encouraging. Now, we take the offseason, A, to heal up. B, look at what are we going to do coaching wise on the base paths? How are we going to teach these guys to read a pitcher? Most bases are stolen off of a pitcher, not the catcher. But also, not everything was a stolen base blunder. Right. There was just bad base running.
There's 3 words that come to mind when you bring that up, and it's back to basics.
Yeah.
I would go back to basics. Yeah. I mean, honestly, just kind of start from scratch, break it down, make it elementary, whatever you need to do to make that situation better.
Yeah. So, my question is, Eric, where does the organization go after somebody in the offseason? Do we need...
They're supposed to know their personnel better than you or I.
Absolutely.
If they're confident in the coaches they have, then maybe they just need to revamp how they go about teaching their players, or just go with the secondary option. Anything, shake things up teaching wise is what I'm saying. Yeah. If you don't believe in who you have, then yes, you need to hire somebody or somebodies, we'll say. Okay. A coach or 2.
Yeah.
Yep. But like I said, they know better than you or
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Something needs to change.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we knew exactly what that was, we might be in the position to
Exactly.
make those decisions.
Yep.
We
so you
don't,
either need to.
yeah.
Yep. You either need to bring somebody in, or you need to revamp things. And like I said, back to basics. Start from scratch.
Sure.
Yes, when it comes to reading pitchers, getting jumps, all that stuff.
Yep. I agree.
For sure.
I agree with you.
But yes, 82 and 80, based on circumstances, I do think it was a successful season. At the same time, we don't want this to become the norm.
Yeah.
Expectations next year should not be for a winning season.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Yeah, let's right.
2 winning seasons in a row. Let's shoot for the playoffs next year and make that their goal.
And I think it should be.
Yeah, because I don't like. Yeah. I get what you're saying. We're not the Yankees, but at the same time, we have some talent on this team.
We do.
Expectations are higher now based on these 2 consecutive winning seasons.
And you got to take advantage of the ability that you have at this time.
Exactly.
Because you're not always going to have it.
Bobby Witt Jr., just like the rest of us, he gets older every year.
Yeah.
Salvador Perez will be 36 next year. Had a great year this year.
He did.
But yes, once again, nobody's getting any younger. Vinny, another productive season. I'm going to break this down real quick.
Yep.
Bobby Witt Jr. finished with a 295 average, led the major league in hits for the second year in a row. Last year, he led the majors with 211 hits. This year, 184 hits led the majors. That shows you how things are changing a little bit.
Sure.
I think you have guys now maybe swinging for the fences a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah.
Hits and average are down. Extra base hits, home run production seems to be good. I think that might have something to do with it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Bobby, some people say he had a down year. I'll take it. 295, 184 hits, 47 doubles, 6 triples, 23 home runs, 38 stolen bases, and probably in the running for a Gold Glove.
He should be.
Not a bad season.
No. And maybe if you're comparing this to last season, sure, his numbers are down, but that's not fair. He had just an extraordinary season last year.
Right.
These are great numbers, and you know what? I'll be shocked if these numbers aren't all better next year.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I do think he dealt with some back issues this year.
Yeah.
So I'd say if he's healthy next year, watch out.
Yeah.
And by the way, the 47 doubles also led baseball.
Yeah.
So he led in hits and doubles. Salvador Perez finished the year with 35 doubles, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs at age 35.
I was ready to write him off, and I'm ashamed of myself for saying that.
I wasn't ready to write him off, but I was ready for him to maybe become more of a part-time player.
Yes.
Because I thought that would benefit him and the Royals.
Yeah.
But just about the time that you and I and a lot of people started thinking that way, that's when he broke out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all it took.
He really did.
He did.
Career-wise, he now stands at 1,712 hits. So 2,000, I would say, is still at least a remote possibility
It's a remote
if he plays long enough.
Sure.
The 303 home runs we've discussed, 14 shy of tying George Brett, and he has 1,016 RBIs. Like I said, he is, in my opinion, a no-brainer for Cooperstown.
I agree.
I think we're there.
I think if for some reason if he's not, there's some issues.
He's headed there.
He should be.
I feel very confident that he is. Vinny Pasquantino finished 264 average, 33 doubles, 32 home runs, and 113 RBIs.
That's just...
And his first month was a disaster.
It was terrible.
So these numbers pretty much encompass a 5-month stretch there where he just got hot.
Would you agree with me, though, that he does it almost under the radar? It's to me, it's almost... Those numbers are almost quiet numbers. Because you don't hear him talked about.
Part of it might be, yes... Part of it's because he plays with Bobby Witt Jr. And Sal, possibly, and even our third baseman, Miguel Garcia, stole some of the spotlight from him this year. I mean, it really was kind of a four-headed monster for the Royals. Garcia finished with an average of 286, 39 doubles, 5 triples, 16 home runs, 74 RBIs, 23 stolen bases, 84 strikeouts, and 62 walks. Now, 62 walks for the Royals, that's something to discuss there.
It is. I give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
We did see his numbers dip in the second half of the season. He wasn't quite as productive as we needed him to be.
Right.
But those are great numbers.
You're looking at 60 extra base hits total. Yeah. And 62 walks. I mean, that'll play.
I'll take it every day.
They get similar seasons from those four guys next year and add, we'll say, one more impact bat.
They do need that, yes.
Along with what they already have offensively, I think they're going to be just fine based on what we think their pitching in general is going to consist of.
Yeah, if their pitching holds up. But we definitely need another impactful bat. For sure.
Cole Reagans and Michael Wacha both finished the year strong, which was a great sign because Wacha, I believe he had a concussion he was dealing with. Reagans was the shoulder, which was more of a scary deal. And he looked great his last two starts. Chris Bubich will be coming back from injury. Seth Lugo will be coming back from injury. The most solid and consistent pitcher they had all year, the St. Joe native, Noah Cameron. Finished with an ERA of 2.99, 138 innings pitched, allowing 109 hits with 114 strikeouts, 43 walks, and he should get at least some votes for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he should, absolutely. I mean, to be thrown to the wolves like he was, he overachieved. Let's put it that way.
A model of consistency.
Yep.
They get that production from him next year, along with the guys I just talked about. Good luck.
Good luck,
opposing teams.
Yep.
Lucas Urseg will be back next year. And one more guy I want to talk about, Carlos Estevez, with his 42 saves, led baseball in saves. The last Royal to lead all of baseball in saves, Brian, Dan Quisenberry with 45 saves in 1983.
I would never have guessed
the Quiz.
Yep. I would never have guessed because we've had some great relievers.
We have the highest save total for the Royals since then. Greg Holland, 46 saves in 2014.
Okay.
So Estevez had the most since that 2014 season. But Holland did not lead baseball like the Quiz did in 83.
Yeah, that's impressive. The old submariner.
Yes. So you have our Royals recap. Like I said, 82 and 80 based on circumstances. I'll take it. Next year, let's shoot for, how about, right now, what would you say? Just throwing numbers out there.
Right now, where I want to see him at is 88 wins. That's the mark I want to see him hit next year.
I actually had 89 to 90 in my head, so we're pretty close.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll take either one of those.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's get into the teams that did advance to the playoffs real quick. Let's just go with the teams that are currently playing right now. How about Yankees versus Boston in a best of three?
Isn't that something to start off the playoffs?
Toronto ended up winning the East, best record in the American League, so the Yankees get knocked into the wild card spot, which that didn't really bother me much. And who doesn't want to see the Yankees in Boston? They hate each other.
It's good for baseball.
They hate each other, and it's so fun to watch.
It is, absolutely.
Cleveland steals the Central with the collapse of all collapses by Detroit. So they knocked Detroit into the wild card, and lo and behold, they're squaring off against one another. Detroit actually won earlier today to go up in that best of three, 1-0.
I mean, we know Detroit's got the tools. We know they're a good team. Yes, they collapsed. Mixed with Cleveland catching fire.
Yeah.
But now that you're in the playoffs, I almost feel like the slate gets cleaned a little bit.
It does.
And that was shown today with Cleveland taking a 1-0 lead.
But it was more me being impressed with what Cleveland did than what Detroit didn't do. As far as, Cleveland, they're so resilient. They traded at the deadline and they end up winning the Central. I have nothing but respect for that organization.
That doesn't happen.
Right. And just a while ago, the Cubs defeated the Padres to go up 1-0 in that best of three at Wrigley. And then tonight, we have the underdog of all underdogs, David versus Goliath, the Cincinnati Reds versus the Dodgers.
I mean, obviously, I'm pulling for the Reds here for no other reason than Why am I pulling for the team that spends the most money or second most in baseball?
Right.
Like, no.
I know before the season I said the Dodgers would repeat, so I'm going to stick with that.
Sure.
That's not what I want.
Yeah. No.
But that's what I predicted. Yeah. That's what I'm going to go with. If the Reds sweep the Dodgers 2-0, I'll be just fine with that. What are your thoughts, your interest in our field and what it consists of?
I mean, it's a fun field for sure. Who are the picks out of each league? I mean, if I were to pick right now who's going to be in the World Series, this isn't who I want. This is who I think. I would go with the Yankees and Dodgers.
Okay.
Yeah.
The number one seeds are Toronto in the American League and the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League.
Yeah.
I mean, if those two made it, that'd be fine. That'd be fun.
I'd be okay
and different.
with that.
But yes, I think you're on the right track.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm rooting for those teams, but yeah. I mean, it will not shock me in the least to see those guys squaring off.
But no, we'll revisit this each podcast and give updates as far as where everything stands.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, Eric. Let's go on from baseball into football, college football, that is. Big game in Lincoln on Saturday afternoon. Pair of 3-1 teams facing off at Memorial Stadium at 3 o'clock. Both teams were 3-0 2 weeks ago. Both teams lost and both teams had bye weeks. Nebraska, obviously we know they lost by 3 to Michigan. Sparty lost to the USC Trojans by 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Nothing to be ashamed of there. USC's a solid team. But we were kind of discussing this here a little bit ago, Eric. We're kind of baffled by this point spread. You know, Nebraska's double digits here.
Vegas always has a reason or reasons for setting the line. I wouldn't have guessed it to be quite this large. 11.5, Brian. 11.5.
That's, my goodness, that's a lot of points.
One thing I would say, obviously, Las Vegas knows, we all know, that Michigan State has that first road game out of the way.
Sure.
USC.
Yeah.
Even though they lost, they've been adapted
to
going and playing in that big atmosphere in Southern California. That'd be the first thing that I would say.
Yep.
Then, just looking through here, they have a quarterback that's done pretty damn well. Aiden Childs, 868 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 1 INT, 39 rushes for 154 yards, averages almost 4 a carry with two TDs. Nebraska generally struggles, and even Matt Rule said that this will be a good challenge, is what he said, for a quarterback that can run and pass like Aiden Childs can. Running backs, they kind of go running back by committee here. They've got Frazier, Tolis, Tolliver. Those are the last names to be looking for in this game. Those would be the 3 that have done the heavy lifting. And then receivers, they have Nick Marsh, a 6'3", 205-pound sophomore, 18 catches, 222 yards, and 3 TDs. That's been their big playmaker on the receiving side of things, Brian. So, when I look at these two teams, there's still just not a heck of a lot to go off of.
No.
Because there's only been, a handful of games for each team.
Small sample. Right. Small sample, for sure. Mm-hmm. A few things in Nebraska's favor. They are currently, I believe, second in the NCAA in passing offense. They're 352 yards a game through the air.
Right.
Very impressive. Maybe even more impressive is the fact that we're completing almost 78% of our pass attempts, which is, let's just say it, that's probably not sustainable as we go through Big Ten play.
Right.
And here's this Michigan State team where they got a pretty solid quarterback throwing the ball, but we have a nation-leading defense that is only allowing 75 yards a game through the air.
So something will have to give.
Something's going to give for sure. It's and another thing is we have not given up a touchdown through the air this year, which is pretty impressive, really, when you think about it. Because at the time, people might not have thought so. But that team we played to start the year, the Cincinnati Bearcats, they're playing pretty good football
I was actually about to bring that up when we were talking about, why we were such a sizable favorite. Some of it might be because Las Vegas is looking at Cincinnati and saying this is a pretty good ball club right here. They go to Kansas and knock off the Jayhawks, who are more than respectable in this day and age. So a really nice win for Cincinnati. So, yeah, like I said, I'm sure they have a reason.
Yep.
I mean, if I was putting a guess on it, I was going to guess Nebraska to be somewhere in that 7 to 7.5 range. So it was just 3-4 points more than I would have guessed. That's all.
But that's a lot in football.
It is. When it's all said and done, we might say, oh, that's why, we're an 11 to an 11.5 point favorite.
The past 5 meetings between these two teams have been decided by a total of 15 points.
Right.
So that's another reason why I'm looking at Vegas here, scratching my head.
Right. Because
historically, these have been 3-point, 2-point games. But, we've questioned it a lot, and there's always a reason.
Yep.
We always find out why. But we're going to have a strong running game, I think, against this team Saturday. I think our offense will do what they do through the air.
Sure.
I will not be a bit surprised if Raiola goes over 300 yards, but we're going to have to be successful on the ground to get this win.
Exactly. And offensive line has to do their part.
They do.
Give him time.
Yep. Give him time.
Open up some holes for our backs. We all know this.
Yep. Emmett Johnson's just averaging just under 100 yards a game on the ground.
Right.
We need to see him break that century mark, and we need to see him do it without carrying the ball 30 times.
Exactly. But, yeah, I mean, if Brian and I could sit here and break down what we thought was going to happen, we would. But, boy, I am kind of just wondering what each team is right now. We don't know. We don't know yet. I'm not going to pretend to know.
I don't know what our identity is. And, I can give you guesses all day long. I do think this game will clear things up a little bit.
Right.
But I still think the waters are going to be muddy after this game.
Sure.
I still don't think we're going to know exactly what this team is.
So, no, we're kind of guessing right along with everybody else. Yep. I always like to use Vegas as my guide, and if they're telling me that we're an 11.5 point favorite, that makes me feel good.
Yeah,
it really does. I'm kind of asking why, but I know they know more than any of us, so we're just going to wait and see how it plays out, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I'm going to say Huskers win by 10. How's that? How's that for a prediction?
Okay.
Yep.
We're pretty close. As we were sitting here talking, I'm running numbers in my head. Like, what do I think? I'm looking at a 28-17 game.
Okay. So real damn close.
We're real close. Yep. I'm right at that 11-point mark.
So let's see. They have their total set at 51, so you're just a little bit shy.
Yep.
So you're thinking more of a defensive game.
I think we'll have a little more defense this game, but who knows? I haven't been right very often this year, so, who knows?
Right.
I'm just having fun with it.
Exactly. Looking at some other games real quick.
Yep.
KU, the Jayhawks, coming off the loss versus Cincinnati, go to Central Florida to face Scott Frost, and they are coming off that loss at K-State. So 2 teams coming off losses. KU's a 5-point favorite at Central Florida.
Mark me down for KU. Jayhawks are going to win.
Okay. Iowa State at Cincinnati. Las Vegas was impressed enough by that win over Kansas that they have made Cincinnati just a 1-point favorite over a ranked Iowa State Cyclones squad.
Holy cow.
What do you think about that?
This should be a fun game to watch.
Right.
These are 2 good teams. I just don't think Cincinnati has it. I hope they do. I'm rooting for them, but I'm going with the Cyclones.
Okay. Next one, here's another opponent Nebraska has faced. Wisconsin heads to Michigan, and the Wolverines are a 16.5 point favorite.
I don't know that the Wolverines will cover, but the Wolverines will win.
Obviously, the better team.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, here's one I like. Miami 4 at Florida State.
Okay.
Florida State coming off a loss last weekend. Give me Florida State outright to beat the Miami Hurricanes. The undefeated Miami Hurricanes go down against the Seminoles.
Wow.
Yep.
I like that pick. I hope you're right. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not picking this game.
Yep.
I'm staying away from
Give me FSU to win.
I like that.
Yep. They take the Hurricanes down in a rivalry that goes back many years.
Oh, for sure.
Vanderbilt, undefeated Vanderbilt, heads to Bama to take on the Tide, who are feeling really good after that win over Georgia. Alabama, a 10.5-point favorite.
They should be feeling good, and they'll still be feeling good after Vandy comes to town.
Okay.
Yep.
And Notre Dame, a big favorite over Boise State. When's the last time that Boise State was a 20-point dog, Brian? Boise State's been respectable for many years. That's a big number right there.
That's a big number.
Notre Dame's coming. I mean, they demolished Arkansas.
Yeah.
Enough that Arkansas has rehired former coach Bobby Petrino.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Notre Dame is going to roll this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to roll
It's
with
gonna be
I'm going to
close.
roll with my one pick of Florida State.
I like that.
I don't feel confident in those other ones. I just thought those are other games of interest this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yep. Now we're going to move on to the NFL. Okay, NFL, Brian, we're down to 2 teams left as far as the undefeateds go. The
And
Philadelphia,
then there were 2.
the Eagles, and the Bills, both 4-0.
Hey, those are 2 teams that we talked about a lot before this season started. I'm not surprised that either one of them are 4-0 right now, Eric.
Right?
Not even a little bit. We kind of talked. We know the Eagles are feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
I'm sure they have a sense of invincibility going.
And why
right
wouldn't
now.
you, right? You know, you've won some tough games, and that game Sunday, that was a good win against a good Tampa Bay team. So why not feel good about yourself?
Sure. Going back to this last Thursday game, Seattle with a hard-fought 23-20 win at Arizona. That was a hard-fought game. Seattle improves to 3-1. Arizona falls to 2-2. On to Sunday, where it was quite a variety. Pittsburgh wins 24-21 in Dublin, Ireland over Carson Wentz in Minnesota. Pittsburgh gets the win. Philadelphia remains undefeated on a hot day in Tampa Bay. Philly gets out of there with a 31-25 win. Tampa Bay with a late comeback that falls just a little bit short. The Saints put up a battle, put up a good fight at Buffalo for a while, end up losing 31-19 to the undefeated Bills. The Patriots destroy Carolina 42-13. Washington down Jaden Daniels and their 2 best receivers, lose at Atlanta 34-27. Detroit rolls the Cleveland Browns 34-10. Houston shuts out Tennessee 26-24. Jackson Dart and the Giants take down the Chargers to hand them their first loss.
Big win for the Giants there.
It was to boost them to 1-3. I think Jackson Dart starting had everybody energized that day is what it looked like. I'm pretty sure the Chargers are the better team, but the Giants got them on this given day. San Francisco suffers their first loss against Jacksonville. Jayville improves to 3-1, dropping the Niners to 3-1. The Rams, who I remember Brian and I both liking to cover that 3.5, won by 7, 27-20 to knock Indy to 3-1 and improve their record. The Rams to 3-1. Bears eke one out against Vegas, who misses a field goal at the end of the game. Bears win 25-24. The Chiefs roll Baltimore. Baltimore is a mess right now. Lamar's injured. They looked absolutely discombobulated.
They did. Chiefs dominated that game.
Yep. Credit to the Chiefs, but Baltimore, they need to get things corrected real quick, or it's going to be curtains for them.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. 1-3 is not a place you want to be.
An organization that I have a lot of respect for, but they need to get right real quick. They have Houston coming in. I think Coach Harbaugh and staff will coach them up enough to get that win, and then they play the Chargers. Or I'm sorry, then they play the Rams after that. So we'll see what these next two games bring.
Yep.
They can't fold a 1 and 5-er. I think you can go ahead and stick a fork in them.
Exactly. Yep.
Closing things out, Green Bay and Dallas, just a boring 40-40 overtime tie. When's the last time you saw that?
I hate it. I don't think a game should ever end in a tie.
But if there has to be a tie, 40-40 is at least an exciting tie.
It's better than 10-10, right?
Right. And I mean, the way it ended, Green Bay was in a position where they could only kick a field goal.
Sure.
If you're in their position, you're going to do that. At 4th and long, get out of there with a tie. Yeah, it's not. I mean, they didn't want a tie. They ended up with a tie.
I just think the NFL needs to revisit that rule. You don't play a game.
We play until somebody wins.
Yes. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, a 40-40 tie. Let me know the next time you hear of a 40-40 tie or anything. Yeah.
Even close to it. Even close.
And then last night, we had Miami with a 27-20 win over 27-21 win over the Jets, but it was a costly win.
Very costly. Oh.
Dislocated knee, is that correct?
And dislocated torn ACL.
Okay,
Yep. He's done for the year.
And then Denver rolls it home over the Bengals 28-3. So
Denver needed that one.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, for sure. That
recaps Week 4. Man. And this Thursday, you're looking at the Niners at the Rams. Both 3-1. Rams 5.5-point favorite over the Niners.
I just think the Rams, especially at home, I look for them to cover here.
On to Sunday, the Vikings 3.5 at the Browns.
That game I have very little interest in, Eric. I'll be real honest with you.
Miami minus Tyreek Hill in a pick'em game at Carolina. How's that one? Grab you?
I probably won't watch it.
Dallas 2.5 at the Jets.
Yep, that's another one. I'll probably just catch a score on when it's over.
The Colts 6.5 at home over your Raiders.
Okay. I had high hopes for my Raiders, but what I'm seeing is a lot of what I've seen the last couple years with them. Turnovers, interceptions, blowing games late. The Colts here. I got to go with the Colts.
Denver at Philly. Philly undefeated at 4-0. The Broncos coming in there. Thoughts of handing Philly their first loss?
I mean, this will be a good game. I think this should be a fun game, but I think that 3.5 is just about what Philly will win by.
Philly by 5.
Oh, by 5.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if they cover the 5. I like 3.5. If I was taking the points, I think I'd take Denver.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it now. It is down to 3.5. It is 3.5.
So you're making me change my mind again.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't have that one updated.
Let's go with Philly here.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Tush push to win.
Saints 2 at home over the Giants.
Let's see what Jackson Dart can do 2 games in a row, right? I mean, you got a great opportunity to beat the Aints, and I think they'll do that.
Right. And Houston 2.5 at Baltimore, which tells us, as of right now, Lamar Jackson is probably on the outside looking in.
If he's not playing, I think it's Houston all day long.
Arizona 7 at home over Tennessee.
We'll see what happens there. I have no feelings.
Seattle 3.5 over Tampa Bay.
I like Tampa. I think Tampa will bounce back there.
Detroit 10.5 at Cincinnati. Give me the Bengals. That's a big number.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm going to say give me the Lions.
So you're saying Cincinnati's basically done?
I'll give you the 10.5 and take the. I think they're done.
Okay. Chargers 3 at home over Washington. Jaden Daniels, will he play? That's, kind of a big factor in that.
That's
game.
A huge factor,
right?
And I'm not comfortable giving a decision or a pick, not knowing if he's going to play. So I'm going to
yet to be determined. We'll
Yep.
say Buffalo 7.5 at home over New England.
Yeah, Bills for sure.
And then Monday night, Kansas City heads to Jacksonville. KC at 2-2 heads to 3-1 Jacksonville. There'll be a lot of red in the stands.
I think
Chiefs fans will be there.
Sure. I think the Chiefs moved to 3-2 here.
Chiefs a 3-point favorite. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can put me down for the Chiefs.
Yep.
There you have it.
There you have our picks for the week. If you're looking at making it interesting, I would follow Eric's picks more than I would mine. But
we all have our hot and cold stretches.
I gotta be right one of these days, Eric.
The main thing is getting Nebraska a win.
Yes, I agree.
That's first on the priority list as far as sports goes.
I'll.
What would second be? Getting the Dodgers knocked out of the playoffs?
That would be a second for me. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Or your Raiders winning. I'd
rather see the Dodgers out. Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, we've discussed this. I don't live and die by the Raiders, so if they tank it, I'm still okay. But if I could see the Dodgers and Yankees both go out in the first round, I might celebrate.
You might have to settle for one or the other for now.
Yeah.
If they both got knocked out, I would be shocked.
Baseball.
I mean,
Major League Baseball would be too.
Boston is very capable, but to get the Boston and the Reds to knock out the Yankees and the Dodgers,
unlikely,
I wonder what the odds on that would be.
I'm sure you can find them, but it'd be fun.
Right. Anyway, we need to get the Huskers a win and go from there.
Win by 1, win by 15. I don't care.
Right.
Win's a win.
Yep, exactly.
I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, I feel like we touched on some baseball.
We did a lot.
Yep, a variety tonight.
Again, thank you everybody for listening. Share us. Tell your friends. Tell them how good we are, how bad we are. We just enjoy doing this every week, and we hope you enjoy listening.
Yep, thanks.